us about what is out there. Additionally, Mr. Howard stated that if the meeting is over before our meeting is over, he'll try to jump on. So for right now, we're going to get started, and I'm going to let you, Andrew, introduce yourself and tell us a bit about DYCD, what it is, and what are the different programs we have. For the CB9 youth committee, our focus is on students that are 16 years and older to about 24 years old. Thank
Well,
you.
great. Well, thank you, Sol, for setting this up. Thank you, CB9, all the youth committee members, and it's great to hear that CB8 is joining us, because a lot of times I always wonder, like, a young person's life doesn't stop at a community board, community board border, and they're part of the larger community. So thank you. We are all delighted to join you this evening and to discuss the ongoing work of the Department of Youth and Community Development. The past 15 months under Mayor Eric Adams, we've seen incredible growth for DYCD. It's really exciting. Our new commissioner has tons and tons of energy, as Tracy and Alex could tell you. I mean, last summer, Summer Rising, we served a record number of young people, 110,000 young people throughout the 5 boroughs, including many locations in Community Board 9. And a lot of these high quality enrichment programs are operated by a number of outstanding providers, and I'm sure you're familiar with them, but I'll just name a few. CAMBA, Haitian Americans for Progress, the Child Center of New York, Friends of Crown Heights Educational Center, the Jewish Community Center, and New York Edge. So plans are underway for another great summer this year, and we anticipate actually that application is going to be opening up in the coming weeks. So that's something that maybe we could work with the community boards on getting the word out, so that young people and parents know about this opportunity for the summer. Switching to the Summer Youth Employment Program, we also served a record number of young people in the Summer Youth Employment Program, 100,000, and we're going to do it again this year. In Community Board 9, some of our SYP partners include Henry Street Settlement, Italian American Civil Rights League, and Sesame Flyers. And just because a provider is not in a specific community board, young people from across Queens could apply to any of these programs, or actually, for that matter, citywide. So I'm actually happy to say that the application period is now open. And again, I'm going to encourage the board to promote the program to young people and families. And you can refer them to our website at nyc.gov/SYP, and that's where they can apply right online. We also want to encourage the community board to spread the word about SYP among local businesses, nonprofits, and even the board itself to be a work site this summer. I don't know if you guys were a work site last year. I was trying to find that out before this, but be one this year. We'd love it. And I sent you early today that toolkit, right?
Yes, I saw that.
If you could send that out. We really need as many high quality workplaces as possible. I mean, we want to give young people a varied experience in whatever their interest may be. And you also heard about Saturday Night Lights. There are currently now 100, and this is Tracy loves this, and she's working hard on this, and she may want to jump in. 136 Saturday Night Light programs operating citywide, including one at Parkside Preparatory Academy at 655 Parkside Avenue. This initiative offers free, high-quality sports and recreation programming on Saturday nights to young people from, it's 11 to 18 years old, Tracy, right? Yep. And they do basketball, soccer, volleyball, dance, martial arts, and so much more. And, simply put, SNL keeps young people safe and engaged, and really forges healthy relationships between young people and our Saturday Night Lights partners, the NYPD. I'm also proud to announce that as of last month, Mayor Adams has entrusted DYCD with the Office of Neighborhood Safety. And again, Tracy's working on this as well. So the office includes a couple different initiatives. One is the Mayor's Action Plan for Neighborhood Safety, the Office to Prevent Gun Violence, Atlas, and Precision Employment Initiative. The transition is ongoing. But we already have a number of services in the 71st precinct that include Cure Violence, the Hospital Responder Initiative, Works Plus, the School Conflict Mediation, and Professional Mental Health and Therapeutic Services. And, these programs are aligned with DYCD's mission. It improves community police relations, reduces unnecessary incarceration, and diminishes contact with the justice system. Moving on to our adult literacy portfolio, late last year, DYCD released a concept paper for literacy programs in anticipation for requests for proposals to be released shortly. In that RFP, and all DYCD issued RFPs moving forward, you will see requirements to provide participants and family members information about mental health services to address issues such as depression, anxiety, trauma, and substance abuse. And this is consistent with the mayor's focus on mental health supports, especially as the city continues to recover from COVID-19 and addresses the impact that the pandemic had on the well-being of all New Yorkers. Finally, now this is really fairly new. I'm excited to announce that part of our community outreach efforts includes borough-based DYCD satellite offices. And it's really designed to raise public awareness about DYCD and our programs. And we are opening these offices at community centers and other convenient locations in all 5 boroughs. But as a reminder, all of DYCD's funded programs can be easily located using our Discover DYCD app. So you're familiar with that, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, we got to get the word out there about that. We actually worked last year with the NYPD to have it on every single police officer's phones, so they could actually work with young people and tell the young people exactly where community centers are located. So now I kind of want to hear from all of you about how DYCD and Community Board 9 can work together to promote all of these programs and better serve our communities. And again, on behalf of the commissioner, thank you for inviting us to speak today.
Okay. I'm gonna let some other folks start, and then I have a couple things to ask.
Yep.
Linda, I know you got something to ask.
Hi. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Let me go.
Latwin, she said, go ahead and go.
Okay, sorry guys. I can't have the camera on right now, but thank you so much for all that information. I am kind of under the weather. But I was wondering, for all of that information, it's really great. Would it be possible in any way for this particular committee to get maybe like a weekly blast or like maybe like a monthly blast with all that information that you guys provide and all the services?
We do regularly. We have a great comms team that puts out regular blasts on social media and newsletters. And after this call, what I could do is I'll reach out to Sol and give her the information about how you can get more information.
Okay. Well, I want to be 100% transparent. You are correct, Andrew. But right now, our communications team, we're reorganizing some of those responsibilities. So we have a monthly newsletter. Okay. That I can send you the link to, but I will say that in the next few days, it will be going down just so we can do some upgrades and some additional work on the back end. But in that material, it will tell you, hit these links, sign up here, connect to these folks to get more information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions for them? Well, no, I thank you for a lot of the information, and some of what they was actually asking was part of what I was going to ask, because I know that there's so much that DYCD offers, but it's like if we ran into some young people in our community, maybe they need jobs, maybe they need information on, various after school programs, what are the best ways for us to be able to say, hey, there's this website, or like you said, there's an app or things. What is the best way for us to recommend them to programs that may be in their area?
So I'll give a shout out to our internal I team for the last 2 years. They've really, not 2 years, prior to the pandemic, they really built a really good infrastructure. It's called DYCD Connect. If you log into that, you literally can search anything that you want. You can do it by zip code. You know, most kids don't know their community board number, so they can just enter their zip code. They can enter their borough. There's several drop down features that can be very intentional. I'm looking for after school program, and the second menu might say, what's your age? You're looking for a specific provider. You can put the provider name in the fields, but it's pretty comprehensive. And in all honesty, internal staff use that as well. I know I'm sending you some information, and I'm going to be using our DYC Connect database to pull that up. And I'm going to do a very intentional geographic search. I'm going to enter your community board. I'm going to enter a couple of local precincts. And then I'm going to enter some other information, and then that will pull up everything that's available based on what I've entered.
Oh, wonderful. John, I see your hand up, then Linda.
Linda could go first, ladies first.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Hi, Tracy and Andrew. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate this. But I don't have a real question. I just want some more guidance. How would I'm a youth leader in my church, right? And this age group, which is our youth ministry, our young adult ministry, it would really garner a lot from this conversation. How would I be able to invite you to come to my church? One thing, and the other thing, it's Women's Month, and Tracy, would you be willing to come and speak to my youngers?
So, okay, twofold. The first question, and how can we come and visit your church? Actually, our incoming commissioner has taken a very aggressive approach in including all faith-based organizations within our fold with open arms. And part of my division has expanded to include a unit that's called Neighborhood Strategies. So literally to the left of me, I have all of the neighborhood strategy field representatives that are available to you. It's as much as actually if you went to DYCD Connect, but you don't have to, because Soul got me on a hotline over here. But actually you would be able to go to DYCD Connect. You would, the screen that you're looking for is, it asks a question, how can DYCD help you? What would you like? And you would literally drop into the field, I'd like to have a representative come attend one of my meetings. You put that in the field, there's a series of questions, and literally on the back end, I'm part of the team that supports that information. But because Soul got you right here, when we wrap up this email, I'm sure this meeting, I'm sure we'll do a recap and we can connect with all of the asks, and I can make sure I get them directly to Soul and she can share with you. Regarding History Women's Month, I think that is a really great opportunity, and not only for myself, but there's tons of wonderful women leaders that I work with in my agency who take the month very passionately and seriously. And thirdly, DYCD has a youth council, actually, and it's my Brother and Sisters Keepers Youth Council, and we got some very nice, positive, forward-thinking youth female leaders on our council. So I will make sure that we get as many folks as you like to as many meetings as you like, as long as we have the bandwidth. So just let us know. It's definitely possible.
And one last thing, my church is St. Gabriel's on Hawthorne Street, and we've got space, stuff like that, if you want to have a satellite anything, I'm sure we will be available.
When you say satellite, everything that's like that's a powder keg.
Anything
and I think that's really great. What I will say that happens is that there are times when we have to put out interest forms. Yeah. And with these new satellite offices and with the Neighborhood Strategies team, that's what they'll be looking to. They'll be looking to welcome spaces that haven't necessarily been in our portfolio, and making those connections. So I'm definitely going to make sure that you, Miss Lord, that you are definitely connected to the director of neighborhood strategies, because those are the type of folks we're looking for. There's going to be a series of neighborhood convenings that are going to be taking place. And so if you are opting that maybe you can have them at your space, at your church, that's definitely something that that unit would want to hear. So I will make sure that I connect you with that director. She recently came on board last Monday. Her name is Dr. Khadija Diallo, and she is amazing. And she has a very good, mighty but small team. And they've recently been onboarded within the last month or so. So I will definitely share that information along with them.
Thank you. Anything for DYCD.
I think, John, your hand is up, John B.
Yes. Can you hear me? You
Yeah,
guys
I
hear me?
forgot I was muted. I was saying, John.
Oh, okay. No
Go
problem. No
ahead.
problem. First of all, good evening, everybody. I just want to tune into something that Mr. Miller said about the Saturday Night Lights. Due to my experience as a youth development specialist for ACS, working in Horizons Juvenile Detention Center for the past 3 years, they're bringing me on as team coordinator, and the Cure Violence program. I'm going to be working with various sites. One of them is going to be the YMCA on Bedford Avenue. And I'm going to be overseeing a lot of the Saturday Night Lights programs there. Like he said, it's a lot of recreational stuff there. Basketball, they have game night when they have PlayStation, Xbox. They're going to have job fairs, and they want to wait. I have to go around to various different schools and different precincts to try to involve the community and speak to the youth. So the people that want to know about the locations I'm going to be overseeing and working at, you can ask me or get in contact with me through Soul, or you get my contact info and I can give out whatever information I can too also.
And I'm glad you mentioned Horizons. We have a team that specifically is dedicated to those non-traditional spaces where we're trying to expand kind of what after school could look like in those spaces. And I know that my team personally, someone on my team, one of my other directors, his name is Mr. Conley, he's actually working with the fraternal organization that is also working with the Credible Messenger professor that's at Horizon. And so we are doing some rites of passage curriculum with the group, but it is a pilot. And we've just launched it, but we're always looking for, the community's voice on how those projects are working out. So I will definitely share your information with Mr. Conley, because that literally just started about 3 weeks ago.
No problem. Any way I can help, you can just give me my information and feel free to contact me.
Okay. Thank you, John.
No problem.
I wasn't used to the chat function. I know that's usually disabled in some of our meetings. So I see that a couple people had some stuff. So Felice, I see that are you still with us? She's still with us. Oh, it looks like she must have came off. And then I saw Audrey. Is Audrey still with us? Audrey, are you there? Okay, so I just see a couple of comments from them. But Audrey mentioned some co-cathedral of St. Joseph. Maybe I don't know if these are different churches or stuff.
Yes, they're two different churches.
Okay.
Right, and they have a youth leader. Okay. Right, I was trying to make it up the stairs to get the paper and bring it down and send the email, because this youth leader, he has something set up, I believe, every Saturday, and it would really be good if someone would be able to get in touch with him and see if someone can come out and speak to the youth there, because they're always in the summertime saying, I can't find anything, and that not good at all.
All right, thank you. So I see you have St. Joseph, so I'll make sure I'll give it to what's her name, Cynthia, to make sure we put these organizations in the notes, and I will forward it also to Tracy.
Thank you.
Mhm. And then, oh, and Mr. Andrew Miller's put in his contact information if people are interested in being able to needing to contact him. And the one good thing I can say about them all, and I personally can attest, is that they do get back to you and they do respond. So I can say from my own experience, Andrew and Tracy are really good at getting back to you if you have questions or anything you need support with. They're very supportive. Let's see. Anybody else had their hands up? Okay. Anybody else? So, well, I know one thing that, as a community board, why we were also definitely interested in having folks was because, we have an event coming up for the job and internship fair. And so actually I was really glad that I did talk to Tracy about it, because I know when we were planning the event, we were looking mostly at last year's calendar for time frame. And so something that came up was that, every year things are going to shift due to calendars and stuff like that. And we had originally planned to have our event April 1st, but we need to make shifts because the deadline for SYEP is actually March 31st. So with that, we're going to shift our event up a week so that the organizations that are involved and that we're working with would be able to offer that as a possible employment opportunity for the youth that we're working with. I'm also shifting it from being outside to working to get it at Prospect Heights, because when I looked at the advanced weather, it's quite chilly the day that we had originally planned, and it would only be across the street from where originally planned, which was the park. And instead of in the park, we'll have it at the school. So I wanted to put people on that, and was really glad that Tracy pointed that out to us, so that we're doing it during our time frame that's helpful. And so DYCD is supporting with that event, because they're, like she said, she was doing the geo mapping and helping us to target the organizations within our Community 9 district that would want to provide the information around jobs and internships for our youth. So I just wanted to ask, is there any other questions or anything else that we may need from the DYCD representatives? Okay, so I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. So going, gone. If you guys, want to sign off, that's fine. And we'll continue on a bit with our meeting. That's fine. And Felice is saying, send the which information are you referring to? Are you just referring to overall DYCD information, Felice? Okay, all information. Okay, so when Andrew or Tracy sends me some info, I'll forward it to you, Felice.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you again for setting this up. Thank you, Tracy and Alexander, for making yourselves available as well.
Definitely.
Thank you too.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
I just want to add, so we do need to talk, because I do have an update for you. So
okay, thank you. Yes, we do, because I actually forgot to ask you a major question. So definitely. So I guess we could give a talk off tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, anytime after 3 is better.
Okay. All right.
Have a good day. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Okay, everybody. So part of like what I was saying a little bit earlier is that we're working to make the shifts in the event so that we can still have the job and internship event, which means then it's like the pressure is on to kind of move fast and make sure that we get some organizations in to provide job and internship information for our youth. I know we had talked about having certain things like, do we want to, it feels like, we're already in March, and, I felt like we kind of wanted to make it a little bit bigger event with a little bit more bells and whistles. But I'm thinking that since this is something that's going to be just a couple weeks away, which now restricts a lot more of our time frame, it would probably make sense to say, okay, what is it that we mostly just want to focus on now? So like, for example, like my thought is like, okay, can we get some food and some snacks? We definitely need to have stuff like that. I was thinking originally we had said DJ and stuff like that, but I'm thinking if this is going to now be indoor, and if it's kind of like they're interviewing and stuff like that, we may, do we really need a DJ? So I just kind of want some thoughts and input on what your thoughts are and what we should focus on, considering that this is pretty much like almost 2 weeks away. John?
Well, the main thing is to eliminate the things that's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. The focus, we trying to focus on the youth. So, I mean, food, snacks, water, that's going to be things we're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
Was we still trying to raffle off an item or gift to get the attention of the kids to come?
Okay. I think that if CB9 is going to be able to provide the budget for us to be able to do that, then I think that we should. If they're unable to do it, then I guess, we just can't do it,
No
so
problem.
I guess that would be, once it's solidified from CB9, what will be the budget we're given, it could determine, what we could raffle off or not.
Yes.
I agree. I think that we really need to focus on getting the different businesses and organizations. If not, kind of, I guess, defeats the purpose. So maybe taking the next couple of weeks just to making sure we share like all of those contacts and stuff that we have for people that may possibly come in that can provide those jobs and internships.
Okay.
The DJ would be cool. Of course, it's fun. But I mean, like you said, if it's indoors, not needed. We can always just, hook up a playlist or something for.
True.
Yes.
Okay, that's true. That is something at least we could, if the school has some kind of which I'm sure they do, they would have something that maybe we can hook up if we need it. But I was also just thinking, like, once it's indoors, the sound is going to be much louder in that space. And if they're supposed to be kind of focused on being more business, like, maybe it doesn't really make sense to have too much music, unless we have a part where we, like, if we raffle off or something. But outside of that, we may not need it as much. But at least I'll ask them to provide a sound system if at the school.
Yeah, like just for those like quiet moments where if we do the raffle, or like when people are coming in towards the end or something like that.
Okay.
Yes, because if honestly, if we trying to teach them how to carry themselves in a professional environment, the music is just going to be a distraction.
Right. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, I mean, I think even if it's more scaled down and more like, hey, we have a few vendors and different things, I think the biggest thing is to like make sure kids can sign up for SYEP and bring what it is that they need. So once we turned in the permit for the school and all of that, so once it's approved, then we could get some flyers out. I may have to reach out to some of you to ask, like, hey, we have 50 people on these 50 possible vendors and organizations on this list. Can you guys help with calling people and seeing if they want to come? You know what I mean? Because we want to have enough for the kids to be able to get a job and things like that. So we do need to do that. Yes. Hi, Renee. Thank you, Renee. Thanks for coming. So we need to make sure that we have enough to be able to offer the students that are there, and hope that, they'll be able to have some things over the summer, which I think is super important. But I know that to set them up for success, I'll make sure that we could find out what do they need to bring with them. Because if they bring, like, how you have to have those documentations to sign up, if they just bring it, they probably could sign up right on the spot. Okay. Does anybody have, like, is there any outside of particular vendors, but are there any like businesses or local businesses or things like that that you think we should be inviting to attend, or anything like that? We're not, like, I know a lot of the time, I know we could get caught with thinking in the box, but are there any entities or businesses or things out there that maybe we could think outside of the box that could be possible support to our kids?
It might not necessarily be on brand with the event, but like some self-defense karate like businesses I've been thinking about lately. I don't know how we can incorporate that, but I feel like that would work, like with, especially with a lot of the teens. So I don't know. I need to flesh it out, but there are quite a few of those around.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Self-defense, you said?
Yeah, like martial arts type courses. I don't know how we can incorporate that. That could be for a different type of event, but they're there. They're willing to do like 15, 20-minute type demonstrations, especially for the youth. And a lot of the kids now, they really need, other outlets than violence. So
Gotcha. All right. Anything else anybody could think of? Are there any businesses in the area? Like, do we know of like for example, like you have Associated that's down the street, or no, Food Town, I think it's now, because they keep changing their name. I think it's Food Town now. Like, I see that they hire people, like maybe are they hiring 18 and older? Are they hiring some younger people to help bag or do something in the supermarkets? Like, what are some, is there anything that, like, areas or businesses that we should be thinking about? Because even like Bob's and Betty's, they have 2 supermarkets right here, but maybe we could talk to them about like, hey, are you, like, for the summertime, do you guys take any young people on? Is there anything that you guys are thinking of or can think of?
So what about the Major Owens community center?
That's a good one. And I know they have what do you call it, summer programs all summer long, so definitely.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
they do.
that's
And
definitely one. All right.
So I saw that, I think, what's the name? The West Indian Parade people, I think they had sent me some information on classes that they're having. Maybe if we could invite them, that they could show the kids what they're doing and get kids to attend. I could get that information for you.
Oh, I think they're called, what is it, Sesame, something Flyers? Is it Sesame Flyers?
No, West Indian Day Parade, Wadika.
A group, okay.
Yeah, they are in Major Owens Center.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're in there. I did see that. I've seen their office.
And the karate, I like it. I have a friend who is the guy in the karate association over here. Maybe I could ask him for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I had someone we used to work with a lot, Sensei Jackie, and I know that she still has some programs, so I can find a way to get a hold of her too. I think it's good to have it like a little bit varied and have some other things. And I see Felice is saying something about music instruments. I don't know what you mean though, Felice. What did you mean by music and music instrument? And she said Amazon, now it's unionized. So are we saying to target Amazon to come to the event with us? Is that what you're saying?
That might be what she's saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's a good one, because they're a good big company and growing a lot too. Oh, she said yes and yes. So having music and instruments. Okay. Okay. Does anybody know of, which I think would be a nice and fun addition, does anybody have any groups or anywhere that could perform for us? Like any kind of performance?
Actually, I'm gonna send you something. So
Okay.
I have a kid. He's young. I think
Mm,
he's 8 years old, 9, but he performs at a lot of community events. He's like my little nephew, he's my little cousin, but he performs at a lot of community events. He just did something for an event Darlene Millie had maybe 2 weeks ago.
okay. What does he
And
do? Sing? What does he do?
he raps. He
Okay.
raps, but a lot of places don't, because he's not speaking violence. He's rapping. He's only 9 years old. He's rapping about positivity. So they was just asking me, did I know anybody that any places for him to perform for any community engagements, and so I'll send you the info and I'll talk to his father also.
Okay.
But once you give me the correct days, because I want to actually run it across the youth and team director for the YMCA. When I meet with him next on Monday, I want to show him the information.
Okay.
And okay,
And what about the YMCA? Don't they have some programs and info for kids too?
that's what I said. Once you give me the information,
And you'll put it.
I'll,
Okay, I understand what you
I'll
mean.
put it. I'll put it, and I gotta connect with you anyway, so I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. All
No
right. And are there any other major events or things that's going on for kids this summer that people are aware of that we should have a pulse on or invite to come to the event?
Well, both precincts always have something for the youth every year. It's August. Sometimes they do it the same day, sometimes it's a week apart, but it's always on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So I'll find out the dates for the one. There's 3 actually. 1, 2. There's 3. I'll find out the dates and I'll give you the dates. But they're always on Tuesdays, and they run from, I believe, 10 in the morning till 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Okay.
No, does anybody know like how many any camps we have in our neighborhood? I know I know my
camps. Yeah, that's a good
yeah, I
one.
know PS not PS. The school my granddaughter go there is over by the hospital. 235. I don't know if it's a PSMS, but I know it's 235. They got good programs over there for the kids in the summertime. So maybe if we could, I would ask my daughter how to get hold. So if they want to come and share what they got.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
I don't know, maybe if I could invite my Girl Scouts to come too.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
All right, no problem. So is this thoroughly done for now? We could also move on to the next thing, which is Family Fun Day, which is going to be in conjunction with CB9. I think we should start thinking about what it like equipment and different things we're going to need to start what do you call it, reserving things. I know that Cynthia was looking up like bouncy houses. We could, if somebody knows DJs that are really good, and I want someone, if you guys have DJ suggestions, make it someone who plays like for appealing to different generations. So it can be some that's clean versions for the young people, but then, you know, let's look at our 20s, 30s, 40s, you know what I mean, like 50 years old, so that the music could be mixed and it could be appealing to different generations. Does anybody have suggestions on any DJs that they would want for that?
I know of a DJ. I can send you his social media if you want.
Okay, so that's one. And then Felice said DJ Prince. I don't know who that is, but I guess she could send me the information when she has it.
It's Hi Soul is Lawana. I could send you some DJs too.
Okay, yes, please send me that so we can start like making sure we lock down people, and you know, we do it pretty early so that everything is like together. As soon as we're ready to do it, we have everything put together. Any other ideas or things that people are thinking about? I know we were saying, oh, what did we say? Did anybody ever solidify? Did we want to make that day the family fun day, a pajama jammy day? Like, are we going to do that, or we said no? I don't remember what the final consensus of that was.
Oh, can I chime in and say a few words?
Sure, Nicholas.
Yes, I have from last year Family Fun Day, we could not afford it. There was not enough time. There was a few DJs that was recommended to us that which we couldn't do, but I still have that information.
Okay.
But what I want to urge for this Family Fun Day, since it's a whole CB night stuff, I think we should have a meeting, especially between the Park Recreation and Culture Committee, so we could plan and strategize. Because the Family Fun Day gonna have many aspects to it. The Health and Safety Committee gonna put together part of the healthcare section. And also there's going to be Park and Culture, the Park Recreation Culture will try to get certain other activities because we are connected with many of the cultural institutions. Between the Brooklyn Museum, the Park Alliance, the Botanical Garden, we're going to try to get a lot of them there. I mean, because part of it is also resource fair, which means whatever is going to happen with the job fair, that could also be repeated as part of the Park Family Fun Day. There might be a section where you have SYEP and all these people, but I think we are nearing the point where the different committees that participate in there have to come together and start planning together for that day with the central office. Okay, so I think that at the next executive committee, this is something we should initiate and try to put it together, because some of the resources we used last year, we could that information is already at the office, so we could see what they have and see how we could supplement and add to it.
Okay. So how then, Nicholas, will we, I'm trying to think, how would we all like try to work to connect then as one group? Like how is the way we talk to the committee chairs, or like how is that?
The way we can do it, like for example, parallel to you now, there's a subcommittee that's meeting on the city of Yes. The central office can coordinate, so we could meet also specifically for the Family Fun Fair Day outside the regular schedule committee meetings. So this is something we have to initiate. I will bring it at the next executive board meeting, being an executive board member, that we should have to initiate that and pick the few dates or the time we can all together sit together and plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, I was thinking that there might be major things so that our committee might not have to look after, that the board could look after, like the chairs and the tables. We don't need to put that on our stuff. Even if there's a DJ, we don't need to look at that. We could just concentrate on things that we will want for our young people to come to. And I don't know if possible, we could get like a space, not put our tables like around, like in everybody's tables, like a space, like even down close by the school or over the other side, so that the young people could come together and and gather and conversation and do whatever. So that, and then we would not really have to be worried about the big budget things. Let the community board think about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we would concentrate, and we could even have have stuff there ready, surveys, so that we ask them what they want to do. I find that some people of some age sometimes sit down and make decisions for other people's children that they don't know. I rather ask them what they want.
Okay.
And so when we going forward, we know what our young people want, in regardless to what other people think that they should have.
Gotcha. Okay.
I wanted to add one more thing. One of the things I'm trying to do is to reach out to Breck. Hopefully the connection will be made quickly. We already made a reach. I mean, we had reached out to them already. They're going to be a part of my meeting.
Okay, well, wait. What do you want? What do you want?
The reason I want to get
I already have a connection with Brick. So what is it?
If you do, well, that's what I'm looking for, because Brick has a lot of stuff they can bring. Because if you're looking for a stage and sound, that's one thing that can contribute to our fair. I mean, Brick serve the whole Brooklyn, so which means they serve CB9. If you have a good connection in Brick, I would love to explore it and tell us how can they help us for that particular day. Because they have the equipment, they have the experience. I've been doing all these concerts on the park for the last umpteen years. So I think I know one guy that was part of the board, but I haven't seen him recently. If you have a good connection to Brick, it would be lovely if you could share that with me. We could reach out to them and see how they can help us to do that.
All right. Well, I'm a community producer with them. I've already done
Oh,
a
you
lot
do?
of.
Okay, great.
I'm also, so I can get equipment and I could do all of that if I need to too. But I also have some good friends that work there too. So yeah.
Okay, because I think if we want to put together a little bit of a stage and sound, I think they could definitely contribute to that.
Now he
Because-
said that I remember last week I went to Senator Myri's State of the Union talk, and he had, I think it was a Brooklyn, I think the Brooklyn Symphony, and there were young people, and that was nice. And also there was a young band from, I think, PS 61. So maybe what we really could concentrate on is, if you get a stage, concentrate on having an evening concert for young people. Right. Get performers to come. Then we got a DJ. So we could take care of that part, having the young come, because kids are not going to be coming at 11 o'clock. Young people will come about 4, 5, 6, 2 hours before we actually finish.
Mhm.
And that might be a good thing, instead of us looking to do a lot of things that we just only grown-ups will be knocking around by our table.
Okay.
And it gives us time to really not waste. Waste is a bad word. Not use our time appropriately. Then we can plan. So maybe we, as a youth group, we could. As this committee, we could go forward to the board and say we could, if possible, we could look after having a concert, young people concert in the evening, 2 hours.
Okay.
For the
And then
six.
and then remember, we were also gonna do the film thing, so I'll reach out.
Right on, yes, right. And we can have a little film festival, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 6. Blast the music and have fun. Young people will come to that.
Okay.
Then we could have rappers, we could have gospel singers, we could have trumpeters, whatever that we could find.
So I think that if we're gonna think on that level, then you guys should be helping to put together a list of people that you might know to perform. I don't know if people, do you have any, semi, or if we do know, like someone with a bit of a name, or they don't necessarily have to be super big or anything, but if they're recognizable to the kids, then that would be a great thing. And then the Souls team, we can ask some of the kids that work with us in after school, do they perform and would they want to perform? So that would be really great, I think, to be able to do that. And then I know the after school programs have dance.
Yes.
So maybe we should be like hitting up some of the DYCD, the DYCD programs that have dance as after school, and see if they want to perform. All right, that's great. I think this will be really nice to be able to do that. So I'm definitely going to need support. I know that we meet once a month. So I think that we need to figure out if there's things that need to be kind of done in between. How are we going to be accountable and check in? Because what I don't want to happen is that everything is on me. Like, I have a ton going on too, and I'm juggling and making things work, but we have to make sure that we're splitting duties up amongst each other. So what is the best way to keep each other accountable? And can we have maybe some small group committee meetings in between? What are some suggestions? Because time is, like, to me, for some reason, I feel like time is flying and I'm like starting to get like, oh my God, all of these things are coming up. So what's the best way that you think we could do that? And Nicholas, can you put your raised hand down, please? Any suggestions, people?
Well, this is what I'm saying because from last year experience, we did have a lot of meeting in between
Okay.
to plan to do it. It was not everybody, but we had a core group that were waiting, looking at all the aspects. And
Okay.
some of them did involve some people into the leadership of the community board also.
Okay.
So, and even and some meeting that didn't involve even conference, telephone conversation between the district manager, the chair, and the different head of committees. But that's why I'm saying at the next executive meeting, I'm going to ask for them to get that somewhat of a subcommittee, a group of people, so that you don't have to do everything.
Right.
And it shouldn't be that way. So, like, for example, if we're going to have a healthcare section in there, health and social service will take care of whatever else, contact all the people that needs to be there. Like, and then that will report to the group, well, this is what I need, this is what I have so far, this is how many hospitals gonna come. So for the performance section between you and our committee, we have we could just try to what I would say, spread the tax. Everybody's going to cover that, so everybody don't get overwhelmed because we all have our other lives to live too. So
Okay.
that's what I was saying. But I'm glad you say you have that big connection. To me, that's one of the key points, and that's one of the things we were not able to get last year. So it just turned out to be a health fair and a resource fair. But right now, because one of the things I like to I've been talking about to bring within this particular event is to recognize young people or people of note that is in the community during that day, getting proclamation from the mayor on down, because we have some very well successful people from the community that most of the young people don't know about. Because we have some, like for example, somebody recommended somebody who's an international musician for the last few years that still live in the community. And this is an opportunity to come and recognize them, because I think the recognition from your community probably maybe worth more than what you have gotten all over. Some of them international people and have long things. So those are the kind of things we want to look at. Okay.
I like that, Nicholas. You're quite right. I remember there was a youngster. He might be in the teenager, close to his 20s, and he ran one of those fridges, the fridge that's outside the community. Which one? The one on Rogers? I'm not sure, but I know he's in our district because I checked him out in our district, right? And I wanted us from the CB9 to honor him, and we had talked about it. But if we could do that as part of our youth committee, I sure would pass on. So I like that, because sometimes when you honor people, friends come and he's very popular in our community. He started it, and he gets food from big space.
From all over, right. Exactly. That kind of thing we have to highlight that it could be an inspiration to other people. Last year, when we started to think about it, one of the idea was to recognize a major artist. What's the artist that play on the Wiz from Brooklyn? I think she still lives in Brooklyn. The young lady, the name escaped me right now. That was one of the suggestions to see if we could get somebody like that. She played the Wiz with Michael Jackson. What's her name?
She played with the Wiz with Michael Jackson, you said?
Yeah.
She's still at me?
Stephanie Mills. So we're going to try to bring recognition. Stephanie Mills came from this community. I mean, not too far from Conhigh. That was the idea. But we still have a lot of those kind of people. But in addition, I think I'm even thinking of, I don't think we're at that point now. We're doing a lot of work with the community garden and all this stuff. We were thinking about what's the greenest block in the community, those kind of things to encourage people, cleanest block, and all these things. So I think we should get a group of people and we start thinking, what can we do to get most of the community to come out there? But by not only recognizing people, getting the young people to perform, getting some named people to come in, recognizing people who from this community have gone and do great things throughout the world internationally. And I think that's one kind of thing we can do.
Okay. I think those are really, really good ideas. to think of like making little category. What do you guys think or feel about inviting some of the politicians in the area and stuff? You know, like they're running again. Do we want to like reach out to like Crystal Hudson? I think Rita Joseph is community board. She's not Rita. She's not.
We should not have to reach out to them. They're to reach out to us.
Last year, all of them showed up.
Our vote.
Yeah, but how would they know about it?
They all showed up. They all came. They all came in, and they were not even running.
Crystal Hudson is very close to us, so don't worry about her. She's close to us. Even Rita and me, you know, they're neighbors, so we would also invite our neighbors. But don't worry about Crystal Hudson. 1 minute, we could get anything to her in a minute.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. All right, so I think next steps, you know, I think for the next meeting, because we're talking about April, May, June, we're talking 2 months. I think there within that, I would like to start reaching out to some folks. Felicia, you gave me your number, right? Because I want to make sure. I know we were saying to contact most of the people on here I have. Yes, I copied your number so we can connect after. I would like to maybe say in another week or so, you know, some of us can get together and start thinking of particular things we need to start to do now to make sure we secure people for June. All right. And I'm fine with ending a little bit early tonight. Does anybody think that there's anything we need to discuss or have added? You know, feel free to let me know. All right, so hey, we made this happen in an hour. Thank you for all of you that showed up today. I see you, Marva, and all of y'all that's hiding out on camera. I see you guys still. Thank you for coming today, and we appreciate you. And I'll be contacting folks in between. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Good